As Vandiyathevan rode down from the embankment of the great lake and guided his horse along the southern path, his heart danced with joy like a boat swaying upon the sparkling waves of the water. Even while he was only approaching the borders of the Chola country, such happiness filled his heart. What would happen when he truly entered that glorious land? Stood magnificent temples built by generations of Chola kings who were devoted followers of Lord Shiva. Those temples were said to be filled with extraordinary sculptures and beautiful architecture. Pazhuvettaraiyar, the ancient capital city of the Cholas, a city so grand that even famous cities like Pumpuhar and Urayur seemed like small villages beside it. How busy and colorful would its market streets appear! The great courtyards of Shiva temples, the sacred shrines dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Parantaka Sundara Chola, a king said to equal Lord Murugan in valor and Manmatha in beauty. And that was not all. He would also see the emperor's daughter, the incomparable princess, Kundavai Pirati. There should be no obstacles on his journey. He carried a spear in his hand. A sharp sword hung at his waist. The great Prince Aditya Karikalan had given him strict orders. Until the mission entrusted to him was completed, he must not pick quarrels with anyone. Only 2 more days of travel remained before reaching Kadambur. With that thought in mind, Vandiyathevan continued riding forward, determined to reach Kadambur before sunset. After some time, he approached the temple town of Veera Narayanapuram. It was the day of the sacred Aadi Thirumanjanam festival. Everywhere there were stalls and vendors. Some were selling ripe bananas and jackfruit slices. Merchants displayed coconuts, tender coconut water, sandalwood paste, incense wood, betel leaves, jaggery, flattened rice and puffed rice in large piles. In many places, there were amusing sights and curious activities. Vandiyathevan watched all these sights with great interest as he rode along. At one spot, a large crowd had gathered. From within that crowd came loud voices of argument. Then he stepped down and made his way through the crowd. When he reached the center of the gathering, he was surprised. Only 3 people were actually involved in the debate. Yet, the surrounding crowd was enormous. Vandiyathevan carefully observed the 3 men standing there. One of them was a Vaishnavite devotee. A tuft of hair was tied on the front of his head. This man was known as Azhwarkadiyan Nambi. Standing opposite him was a devoted follower of Lord Shiva. His entire body was covered with stripes of sacred ash. The third man wore saffron robes and had a completely shaved head. He was neither a Vaishnavite nor a Saivite. He was an Advaita philosopher, one who believed that both Shiva and Vishnu were ultimately manifestations of the same supreme truth. The debate between them had become very intense. "O Azhwarkadiyan Nambi, answer this question if you can. Did not Brahma try to find the head of Lord Shiva? And did not Vishnu attempt to find his feet?" Neither of them succeeded. In the end, both of them surrendered before Lord Shiva. If that is the truth, how can your Vishnu be greater than Shiva? O brave Saivite Pattar, stop your speech for a moment. Did not your Lord Shiva grant powerful boons to Ravana, the king of Lanka, with 10 heads? And what happened to those boons? Were they not reduced to dust before the mighty bow of Lord Rama, who is none other than the incarnation of our Lord Vishnu? If that is so, how can your Shiva be greater than our Thirumal? At that moment, the Advaita ascetic intervened calmly. Why do the 2 of you argue like this? Whether Shiva is greater or Vishnu is greater, such arguments will never end. Vedanta teaches that beyond devotion lies knowledge, and beyond knowledge lies true realization. In that state, there is neither Shiva nor Vishnu. Everything in this universe is Brahman. Enough! Stop right there. After writing commentaries on the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutras, do you know what your great Shankaracharya finally said? Then he loudly recited, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, O foolish mind. The crowd burst into laughter, but the ascetic did not remain silent. O Nambi with the tuft of hair, you call me a fool, but look at yourself. You stand there holding a stick. That makes you a stick-wielding fool. Immediately, Azhwarkadiyan raised his staff. This is no ordinary stick. If needed, it has the power to break your bald head. Supporters of Azhwarkadiyan shouted excitedly, but the ascetic calmly replied, Strike me if you wish. I will not be angry. The one who strikes is Brahman. The one who is struck is also Brahman. If you hit me, you only hit yourself. Azhwarkadiyan began moving toward him dramatically, but suddenly the ascetic slipped away into the crowd and disappeared. The Vaishnavite supporters cheered loudly. Watching all this, Vandiyathevan felt amused. Finally, he stepped forward and spoke. Why are you all fighting like this? If you truly wish to fight, go to Lanka. There is a great war taking place there. The crowd turned toward him in surprise. Some people admired his confident appearance. Then you tell us the answer, someone shouted. Which god is greater? Vandiyathevan smiled mischievously. Both Shiva and Vishnu are great gods. Worship whichever you like. Why should anyone fight over it? But they demanded proof. So Vandiyathevan continued playfully. Yesterday evening, I went to Vaikunta. At the same time, Lord Shiva also came there. Both of them were seated together on the same throne. Just to be sure, I even measured their height. They were exactly equal. The crowd burst into laughter. And do you know what they told me? He added. They said, Hari and Shiva are one. Those who do not understand this should fill their mouths with dust. As he spoke, Vandiyathevan opened his palm and threw a handful of dust into the air. The crowd roared with laughter. Some people even began throwing dust playfully at Azhwarkadiyan and the Saivite Pattar. The argument was about to turn into a chaotic fight. Just then, a loud proclamation thundered through the road. Make way! Make way! The mighty Pazhuvettaraiyar approaches! Drums began beating loudly. Warriors marched forward carrying palm banners. Behind them came soldiers holding spears. Then appeared a magnificent elephant, richly decorated. It was Pazhuvettaraiyar himself. The crowd immediately moved aside and stood respectfully on both sides of the road. Behind the elephant came a silk-covered palanquin. Vandiyathevan looked curiously at it. Before he could guess who was inside, a slender crimson hand, adorned with bangles, slowly parted the silk curtain. For a brief moment, a radiant face appeared inside the palanquin. The face shone like a full moon emerging from clouds. Vandiyathevan was a man who admired beauty. Yet strangely, when he saw that face, he did not feel joy. Instead, an unknown fear stirred within him. At that very moment, the woman's eyes looked sharply towards someone near him. Suddenly, a sharp cry was heard. the silk curtain immediately closed. Vandiyathevan quickly looked around. His instinct told him that the woman had seen something near him. Then he noticed Azhwarkadiyan standing behind him, leaning against a tamarind tree. But Azhwarkadiyan's face had changed. It was twisted with strange emotion, almost frightening to see. Vandiyathevan felt a sudden sense of confusion and unease. Something mysterious had just happened, and it was only the beginning.
This chapter comes to an end. To continue the journey through the world of Ponniyin Selvan, please subscribe to the channel and join us for the next episode.
Hi everyone, if you enjoyed this episode, please like and share this video. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe for the next chapter of Ponniyin Selvan.